Hey everybody, welcome back to Touchy Reactions. We got something a little different for you today, a little bit off the beaten path. One of my patrons, Andreas Gaming 97, requested I take a look at these Melodysheep videos. They're a little bit of a science nature kind of time-lapse thing kind of going on, and because he's a patron and he's a very generous patron, we're going to take a look at it today. We're going to be checking out Children of Planet Earth, the nature of sound, time-lapse of a Mars rover, and time-lapse of the entire universe. It's about 20 minutes worth of videos, so now I'm not even sure what to expect. I think these might just be kind of sciencey kind of videos with some great music over top of them. So no idea how the copyrights on these are going to work. We'll figure it out when we upload it. But shout out to Andreas Gaming 97. This one's for you, buddy. Let's go ahead and jump into this, and here we go. This one is Children of Planet Earth, the Voyager Golden Record Remixed, Symphony of Science. Here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2,
हम ज़मीन के रहने वालों की तरफ से आपको खुशामदीद कहते हैं।
All right, so I do know a little bit about this right here. Before Voyager went up, we had a group of scientists from around the world get together and determine what was going to be on this record, just in case a alien species discovered this probe, the Voyager probe, out traveling through the universe, and they would be able to learn a little bit about who we are and what, a little bit about our planet. It was very controversial because some people said, hey, well, we don't need to be giving up information to people that could be hostile toward us. I know Carl Sagan was part of this. I want to say Ann Druyan was part of this. But they gave samples of different languages from around the world. They gave different types of music from around the world. As an example, I think they gave a star map showing where Earth was located in relation to our certain stars in our galaxy, I think. And they showed an anatomically correct picture of what our species looks like, that kind of thing. So very cool human endeavor that they did when they did this Voyager mission. So it's kind of cool to see this put to music. All right.
Hola y saludos a todos.
Greetings and friendly wishes to all who may encounter this Voyager and receive this message.
I think I could turn the subs off because they're a little distracting compared to the actual subs on the video, so apologies for that.
We step into the universe with humility and hope.
I think another important thing that they put on this record was an example of math, because math is the universal language amongst all of us, and it should be the universal language of the universe, because math is the same wherever you go. So that's just something to add on there. That was, and you'll notice all these are very simple phrases. We didn't go into tons of details. It's just basically hello, this is who we are kind of thing.
Hello.
back up there. So this is kind of a depiction of what's on one side of the record, and it shows the stars and planets in relation to the sun. I'm not quite sure what that is. That might be the orbit of something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly what's on this side of it. I know the other side is the one that's a little more known to me.
I should like to extend greetings to the extraterrestrial inhabitants of outer space.
Bonjour tout le monde.
Tanti auguri e saluti.
In case you're wondering, this song we're listening to right now is not what's on the record. This is just someone who took the messages that are on that record and set them to music with kind of a trap hip hop dance mix beat to it. Very cool production. The who is this? Melodysheep did a really good job putting this together. It's a really good edited video, good footage, entertaining.
We step into the universe with humility and hope.
Chân thành gửi tới các bạn lời chào thân hữu.
Pacific Star Push.
Namaskar, Vishe Shanti. Lời vui, này có dòng đất chính.
See you leaving a letter our way.
تحياتنا للأصدقاء في النجوم يا ليت يجمعنا زمان
Hello from the children. From the children. Hello. Hello from the children. From the children of planet Earth. Hello from the children. From the children of planet Earth. Hello. Hello from the children. From the children of planet Earth. Hello from the children. From the children. Hello from the children.
One thing I really like about this is it gives you the feeling of that we're all not separate. You know what I mean? That we're all not separate countries, that we're all not individual communities, that we're all children of Earth, even though we're all separated by oceans and rivers and mountains and all that kind of stuff. Ultimately, we are all brothers and sisters here on this planet. We're all the same species. And I think the only way we'll ever be able to look at ourselves that way is if we ever got visited from another planet. All of a sudden, all of our little border skirmishes we have here on Earth would be meaningless, and we'd be more concerned about this new visitor from outside of our world. So we would then, all those borders would go away, and we would be the Earthlings, and they would be the non-Earthlings kind of thing. So it does give you that feeling of unity with the rest of the planet, which is very cool. I did see something there real quick a minute ago here. This shot right here, that white dot you see there, and I'll zoom in on it, that is actually planet Earth, as seen through the rings of Saturn. As Voyager was passing through Saturn's orbit, they spun it around and pointed it back toward Earth and took a photo of the Earth. This is a very famous picture known as the pale blue dot. So go out and check out the pale blue dot. There's a poem that kind of goes along with it that also carries this message of all of us being part of a very small thing instead of being separated by so many big things. Pale blue dot is, I've got a poster of it right outside my office at work just to kind of pique people's interest when they walk by, that kind of thing.
Hello from the children. From the children of planet Earth.
Symphony of Science. All right, very cool. That was the first video of the 4 we're going to be checking out today. Let's see, this next one is called The Nature of Sound. Let me just read the intro real quick. It says, a journey into the world of sound and music with Julius Sumner Miller, Brian Green, Bill Nye, and more. Sound has always fascinated me in the way that vibrations in the air can evoke such a strong emotion, and how humans can create our own meanings from arbitrary motion of molecules. We are like gods building huge cathedrals of sonic beauty from minute, invisible, physical forces that surround. All right, let's check it out. It's only 3 minutes long, called The Nature of Sound. Here we go.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, and teachers? Our special business today will be on the subject of waves and sound.
To make a sound, something has to vibrate, but it won't start to vibrate by itself. First you have to hit it. Are you listening?
The nature of sound.
It's a pattern of vibrations
The nature of sound.
moving through the air to make music.
It's all a matter of vibration. You see the unifying thread. Pulses with the air drum into motion. It's all a matter of vibration.
I just got to give a shout out again to Melodysheep. This is very well done. This is one of the things why I love the internet, man. It gives people that are super creative an outlet where they can take their talents and practice them and share them with the world without having to be super rich and famous and have access to television stations and radio broadcast antennas and all that stuff. This is so creative on how he put this together. He took regular speech, put it over music, used synthesizers to augment the sound so it sounds like singing, and it just is beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of art here that we're enjoying, and it's very cool. I love human ingenuity and creativity in art. It's just great.
Music changes us, inspires and moves us. Vibrations fade into intricate designs.
Music connects us to ourselves and to others. Song lies at the core of life.
The rhythm of the music. The rhythm of the music.
Science and music.
The rhythm of the music.
Music changes us, inspires and moves us.
The rhythm of the music.
Reaches all of us and unites us.
Listen, the voice that I have is governed by the frequency of my vocal cords, how my mouth is shaped, and whether I have teeth or not.
Vibration of voice box. Voice box. The nature of sound.
We live in an ocean of vibration.
Sound waves travel through the air like ripples on a pond.
The nature of sound.
We live in an ocean of vibration. Music flows within us. It speaks for our souls.
Music keeps us in touch with this entire vibrating world, both outside and in. It is as precious as life itself.
Music connects us to ourselves and to others. Song lies at the core of life.
The rhythm of the music.
Golly, man, this is like a love letter to music and sound, and it's got me just sitting here reminiscing about this past year, just this past year on this channel, and how I've been able to reach out into the world and find all this new music that people have recommended for me and change my life as far as introducing all these great groups and artists that have become part of this chapter of my life. You know, all these, when I recommend music now and request music to be played around my house, it's all this new stuff that I've gotten from you guys, that you guys have asked me to go check out. And it's just been an awesome journey for me. And I'm having a ball doing it, really. And this this video right here is just kind of reminding me of why it's so awesome. You know, music has been around for so long in the history of man, and it's changed over time into so many different genres, and you can find good music in all genres. It's not, people say, oh, I don't like this type of music, or I don't like that type of music. I don't ever put myself in that box. There's good music in all genres, in my opinion. And if you alienate certain genres, you're limiting yourself into what enjoyment you can have in your life by not reaching out into a genre you normally wouldn't go into and possibly finding something amazing. So go out there and listen to new stuff. Don't just stay in the little box that you typically stay in. Go find something new in a different genre and just enjoy it. Matter of fact, request something in this video that's obscure and awesome that you listen to that nobody else understands. Put it down in the comments section, and I'll make a list, and we'll go through and start checking out some of that interesting obscure music that other people just don't get. You know what I'm saying? So let me know in the comments.
Science and music. The rhythm of the music. Music changes us, inspires and moves us. The rhythm of the music reaches all of us and unites us. The rhythm of the music. The rhythm of the music reaches all of us and unites us.
So now when we hear the world around us, we know that sounds are made when something vibrates. Listen to every sound.
Awesome. Awesome. This is fun. Like I say, it's a little different than what we normally do here on the channel, but it's kind of fun to step outside normal for a little while and find something new. This next one is called Timelapse of a Mars Rover. I'm a very big fan of space travel and exploration, and matter of fact, this past weekend, the Artemis 1 rocket was supposed to be launched on Friday. Then they moved it to Saturday. Actually, it got scrubbed on Tuesday, scrubbed on Saturday, then it got scrubbed on Monday. And all three times I had made plans to go down there and check it out, and for whatever reason, ended up having to cancel those plans. And I'm glad I did. That would have been a 10-hour drive for nothing. And now it's going to be a couple of weeks before they end up doing it. So, but I just love everything to do with the space programs and exploration and all that kind of stuff. So I've been really following all the Mars Rover stuff with the new rover that we just put on Mars recently. I wonder if that's going to be this. Let me see what. This was made in 2019, so it's not going to be the new rover. It's going to be the old one. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this. This is Time Lapse of a Mars Rover. Here we go. It's 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. Wow, this just makes me start thinking about the fact that most likely in our lifetime, in the next 10 to 20 years, there's a real good chance that a human being will set foot on Mars, which is huge. It's going to be a cool time to be alive. I hope I'm still around for it. But it's not, it's going to be exciting, dangerous, and extremely risky. But for those of us back on Earth tracking it and following it, it's going to be just amazing. It's really going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to it. I hope I'm still around when it happens. an awesome example of human ingenuity. That you can build this thing that can travel so many millions of miles, land, and do its science and transmit its findings back to Earth without having to risk a human life. Shout out to the engineers and scientists that worked on developing this, and especially the new rovers. The new rovers are even bigger, have more scientific instruments on them. Hell, there's a drone that flies around, gets drone footage, recharges itself, solar powered. It's really awesome to look at. These are some of the most amazing feats that mankind has ever accomplished, being able to send these drones to these other planets and send back data so that we can explore them without having to put human lives at risk yet. I mean, obviously that's the goal one day, is to be able to, you can get so much more from human interaction than you could from these drones, but it's just an amazing step back and look at what mankind has done as far as, I mean, we're one of millions of species of animals on this planet. We just happen to be part of the one species that was able to create all this awesome stuff, and it's awe-inspiring, and it just makes you sit back and go, wow, humans are pretty amazing. You know what I mean? And what makes you wonder where we'll be 20 years from now, 30 years from now. What are we going to be exploring our solar system? I sure hope so. I sure hope so. 14 years, 28 miles. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Another great video, Melodysheep. Good job. Shout out to all the folks who put these missions together and are continuing to represent mankind in such a great way. All right. This is the last one. This is probably the longest of the 4 videos. This one's 10 minutes and 49 seconds long. It's called Timelapse of the Entire Universe. Without having looked at it or the description, I'm guessing we're going to maybe start at the Big Bang and go up until nowadays. I'm just going to scroll down and look at the description real quick. It can be difficult to fathom how long 13.8 billion years is. The more you watch this video, the more it sinks in just how stunningly old the universe is and how magnificently tiny we humans are in the grand scheme. I hope seeing this experiment in humanity makes you ponder the vast, unwitnessed ages that have passed before we came along, and the brevity of our existence in comparison. All right, here we go. This is Time-Lapse of the Entire Universe by Melodysheep. Here we go. This video depicts 13 billion years of time unfolding in a 10-minute scale from the Big Bang to today. Every passing second represents 22 million years. On this scale, humans do not appear until the last fraction of a second.
From the primordial cloud of gas and cosmic dust, gravity forged the stars. Gravity connects star systems together in vast galaxies and steers them on their journey through unbounded space. The relentless flow of time has driven the evolution of the universe and created extraordinary wonders.
Narration, obviously, by the famous Brian Cox. Shout out to Brian Cox.
Some galaxies form so close together that they're locked in a gravitational embrace. What a magnificent sight it would be. As it evolves, the universe passes through distinct eras. Vast ages whose beginnings and endings are marked by unique milestones. The births and deaths of its wonders.
We are the product of a grand evolutionary sequence, cosmic evolution, about which we are only occasionally aware.
We're at a very special time in history right now in that we have the James Webb Space Telescope that can actually gather images of the light that was around back around this time and show us images of what it looked like when that light left its origins millions of years ago, billions of years ago. We can get photographs of that off the James Webb, which is just fascinating that we can actually look back in time and take a photograph back in time. That didn't exist this time last year, and it's only now this year that the James Webb was able to give us that. And once again, shout out to the engineers and scientists and astrophysicists and all the people who helped develop that telescope and the ones that are coming beyond that that are going to allow us to peer into the depths of space and the universe and understand more and more.
Gravity is the great creator, the constructor of worlds. But gravity is also the destroyer, because it's relentless. When a star around 15 times the mass of our sun collapses, all the matter in its core is crushed into an infinite void of blackness known as a stellar mass black hole. The immense gravitational pull of these monsters can rip a star apart. They tear matter from its surface and drag it into orbit. This superheated matter spins around the mouth of the black hole, and great jets of radiation fire from the core. Although these jets can be seen across the cosmos, the core itself remains a mystery. Not even light can escape, so their interior is forever hidden from us.
That's an awesome shot right here. Obviously, this is a computer simulation, but you got the black hole over here on the left, and it's actually the gravity from the black hole is pulling all of the matter off the star that's neighboring the black hole, slowly just sucking the star into nothingness. That's awesome.
Throughout a star's life, there is a constant battle between energy pushing out and gravity pushing in. When it runs out of fuel, the star collapses and then explodes with the brightness of a billion suns.
Supernova.
As the star is torn apart, it will fire out into space all the elements that it created in its life and death. These are new stars forming from the elements blown out by supernova explosions. New stars being born from the remains of dead ones. And it's from this universal process of death and rebirth that we emerged. Because it was in a nebula just like this, 5 billion years ago, that our sun was formed. Clouds of hydrogen collapse further and further under the force of gravity, and the life cycle of a new star has begun. A star was born that would come to be known as the Sun. Around it, a network of planets formed.
This is so good. I've never seen a visual representation that did such a good job of explaining this. I love this. This is really good.
Among them was the Earth. Debris left over from the formation of the solar system collides with the Earth. Earth began life as a molten hell.
The early continents were still forming. The land was dominated by volcanoes, hostile and lifeless. But deep in the oceans, life had begun. The latest theory is that chemicals spewing from underwater volcanic vents solidified and created the conditions needed for the first cells to form.
So obviously it's very controversial about how life began on Earth. There's different scientific hypotheses about how it's happened. They've yet to find a absolute answer as to how it happened. Obviously, different religious people have different theories on how life started on Earth. I tend to lean, obviously, toward the scientific hypotheses and stay away from the religious ideas. That's just where I'm at. Other people have different opinions on that. So this part all right here is just our best guess right now at this point in time. We haven't been able to replicate it and prove this is exactly how it happened. There's also some people that theorize that life actually started somewhere other than Earth and was transferred here either through microbes on an asteroid that hit our planet that continue to multiply and replicate here on Earth, or maybe there was an intelligent life that traveled the universe before we came along and they transplanted some sort of life here on Earth to begin to grow and habitate the Earth. So, you know, let me know in the comments. It's a very controversial subject of how life began on Earth, but I'm sticking with the scientists on this one. That's my opinion.
For some 3 billion years, simple microscopic organisms were the most advanced form of life on the planet. Cyanobacteria and other oxygen-producing microbes began to bloom These flourished in colonies of plant-like microbes that pumped out enormous volumes of oxygen. And it was this increase in oxygen that was the key to the rise of the animal kingdom.
Organisms started using oxygen to respire, yielding a lot more energy, which allowed the development of more complex life.
Just before complex life appeared, the world was in the grip of the biggest ice age in its entire history. And then suddenly, advanced organisms appeared.
One of the main problems people have with believing evolution is that humans have a hard time grasping large numbers when it comes to time. If you look at where we're at right now, just right now in this particular part of the video here, we're 367 million years ago. Well, humans have a hard time mentally even picturing a million years, much less 367 million years. So they can't get from we once were a single-celled organism in the oceans that over time evolved into what we are today, because they can't mentally wrap their heads around what 367 million years is. You know what I mean? And that's one of the biggest problems that we have as humans, is being able to grasp those big numbers, and especially when it comes to time. Distance as well. When you talk about how big the universe is, we can't grasp those numbers of time and distance easily. You have to really be shown it and taught it and absorb it before you can really even start to grasp those huge numbers. And I love that the only fraction of a second that you see of humankind in this video is that fast, because that is how long humans have existed in the life of the universe. We've only ever been around for that much of it when it comes to 10 minutes worth of time. And it's beautiful. It makes the point, it drives the point home about how we think we've been around for a long time, but we haven't. We humans have only been around for a very short period of time. Let me finish this up. I got a couple of seconds left. It's probably just trailers. Shout out again to Melodysheep. This was fascinating. Of the 4 videos we watched tonight, this one was my favorite, just because of how powerful it is as far as showing us how far the universe has come over time and making us realize how small we are. I really enjoyed the one about sound. That one was really good. Oh, the Mars Rover one was cool. It really, of the 4 of these we watched, it kind of covered 4 really cool topics. So the time lapse of the universe that we just watched talked about the time and how far the universe has come over time. The Mars Rover thing shows us how far we as a species have come with regards to our ingenuity and intelligence. Nature of sound just celebrated the beauty of music and sound itself. I hope I never lose my ability to hear, and I for those who can't hear, I'm sorry for them that they can't enjoy sound the way we do. Maybe they enjoy it differently, I don't know. And Voyager 1 was probably my least favorite of these 4, but that doesn't mean it wasn't good. It just means these other 3 were so much we built from the first one to the last one. We kind of, this was the right order to do them. It got better from start to finish. Shout out to Andreas Gaming 97. Thank you for recommending this. Was a fun little journey. Melodysheep, you did an amazing job putting these together. I hope you don't make me cover them all up or copyright me so I can't show them. We'll see what happens when I edit this, but this was a great time for me. If you guys enjoyed this and you'd like to see more of this type of content, I've never really done this type of content before, so let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button down below. It doesn't hurt you at all. It makes me feel good when people like my videos. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, big red button down below, click on that. It'll turn gray, let you know you've subscribed. And if you hit that bell off to the side, it'll let you know anytime I drop some new content over here at Touchy Reactions. I have a Patreon. That's where this all came from. One of my patrons reaching out to me and asking me to check this out. So if you'd like to become a patron, there's a link up in the corner. There's also a link down in the description. Come on over and join the Patreon, and you'll be able to vote on stuff that we get to watch. You'll get 30 reactions the day you sign up, and you'll become part of the Patreon family and support the channel. Thank you to all my patrons that are continuing to support the channel. Shout out again to Andreas Gaming 97. And that's all we got for this one tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you stopping by, and don't forget to come on back.